My name is Ryan Robinson, currently a sergeant and canine handler at Tuscola County Sheriff's Office. Came here today to formally introduce myself to all the council members and members in the audience. I am running for sheriff in this year's election, and I'm just looking for some support. So I felt it necessary to come in and talk to you folks, give you my background and experience at the sheriff's office, kind of explain why I feel I'm the best person for the position. So it all starts back at SVSU. I attended college there. I received my bachelor's degree. From my graduation, I went to the police academy at Delta College. Back in those days, nobody sponsored candidates like what happens today. You had to pay for your own. So I paid for my way through the police academy. My first job in law enforcement was at Tuscola County Sheriff's Office. Back in 2006, I started in corrections. So I have experience within the jail and also on the road patrol. I'm the only candidate that can say I worked inside and outside of that facility. I've seen kind of all aspects of the sheriff's office. So I worked in the jail for close to 3 years. During that time, they came out with new requirements from the state. All newly hired corrections officers had to go to a corrections academy. So I attended that as well. So again, corrections academy and a road patrol academy. No other candidate has ever had that. Prior to me starting at the sheriff's office, they just grandfathered in the people that had been there before to that corrections academy, but now that's a new requirement. So moving on, in February of 2009, I was fortunate enough to move to the road patrol. I still work the road patrol this day. I became a training officer within the first few years, a field training officer. I was responsible for training somewhere around the neighborhood of 16 people to become police officers, many of which have moved on to other agencies. Some have actually left us for Vassar City, but a few of them have stuck around. I have 3 sergeants that work alongside me that I actually trained. So it's been a huge part of my career, that training program, 16 different people. I trained up until the point where Glenn Scrent finally decided that enough was enough. We needed a canine. We were always bringing in state police dogs, and it's always at least an hour response time. So he decided Tuscola County needed the sheriff's office needed their first canine. So I applied for that position. I interviewed. I was lucky enough to be selected. So if you've ever heard of Canine Black, I'm his human counterpart. We still work together today. We've been involved in numerous things around the county, been very successful. Actually, I believe Vassar City Schools here probably owns the record for the most responses for bomb threats. So I've been in and out of there a bunch of times. But anyway, moving on, in 2020 I was promoted to sergeant, and I found myself shortly thereafter involved in the field training program again. Now I'm the supervisory coordinator for that program, so I monitor all the new recruits, make sure they're hitting their benchmarks to allow them to be successful in this field. So again, I'm just trying to point out, I am the only certified law enforcement officer in this year's race. There's other candidates out there. I'm not going to try to bash anybody, but I just want to highlight, I'm the only police officer. And I've worked inside the jail and outside on the road. I respond to calls every single day. I come to people's doorsteps with complaints. I know the areas of the county that have drug trafficking issues and things like that. As a sheriff, I plan on being much more active in the current administration. I think you'll see for the first time, if I'm elected, a sheriff actually going out and responding to many more scenes. That's a huge part of my platform. I think the sheriff needs to be involved with the public much more than he is currently. So a little bit of the additional training, because I am a road patrol officer that the other candidates don't have. I've been trained in incident command. Your fire chief can attest to the fact that's a wide response protocol that police, fire, rescue, EMS, we all use on large scale scenes. And obviously if there is a scene, the sheriff should be at those scenes, right? I'm the only one that's trained in that response system. I've been to numerous trainings for active shooter situations. We never want to acknowledge the fact that it could potentially happen here in Tuscola County. And I'm the only candidate that's been trained in that. We've trained in a lot of the local schools and hospitals in the area. And just because I'm canine, I have a lot of history in the search and rescue side of things. We have kids sometimes walk away and get lost, elderly people get hurt. I've been on scenes where there's been some unfortunate, we found them too late. The other candidates don't have that background or experience. So, again, I just wanted to highlight my credentials. I'm gonna stick around as long as I can today, so I know you got a lot of things to cover. If I'm able to stay until the end, I can answer questions of anybody if they'd like. I do have to work tonight, so I just kinda have to watch the clock, but if anyone has any questions of me and I have to scoot out, you can find me on Facebook, Brian Robinson for Sheriff, I have a page on there. If you do send me a message, I will get back to you. Obviously, not while I'm working, I'm not campaigning on duty, but I will get back to you, I will answer every question that anyone has, so. Thank you for letting me get up here and speak today.
Thank you.